Welcome back to Unconformed. This time, we're doing a league preview. Liverpool versus Luton. But first, I want to make a special announcement. We will be doing our first watch along this weekend for Liverpool versus Chelsea, the Carabao Cup final. I have been deliberating about this for a long time. I told all of you guys that we'd be doing our first watch alongs this month in February, and to keep that promise, what better time to do it than on the league final? So I'm very excited to be doing that. I'm going to be coming on about 45 minutes before kickoff to talk to you guys, have conversations, banter, all of that cool stuff, get to know you a little bit better, and talk ball and do any predictions, give any opinions. But I'm very grateful for you guys, all of the new subscribers onto the channel. I know we're a very, very small channel right now, but we're constantly growing. We're getting new subscribers every single day. So I appreciate you guys. We are on the road to 500 subs. And I appreciate you all for even just considering subscribing to the channel. It's an awesome community that I feel like we're building. I know there's a few of you that consistently comment on videos, and we have conversations all the time. And I love that. I love speaking to you guys. I love talking ball. I love getting perspectives that I maybe haven't even thought about before. So continue to do that. Continue to like and comment onto the videos. It really helps the channel out, as you probably already know, so we can continue to grow this community, and we can continue to just get bigger and bigger and bigger, so more and more people can get involved and start sharing their opinions and talking ball about the club that we love, Liverpool FC. So straight to it, right? The league preview. This is our first one that we've ever done. I want to start doing these more often. These are going to be shorter videos. I really just want to talk about my predicted start at 11. The man on form is what I'm calling him, who is our X factor for each team, and my prediction scoreline. So to go over basically news first is the injuries. That's something that's probably on everybody's mind right now. The list is here on I have on my tablet, which is an insane. It's a starting 11. Jones, Salah, Nunez, Thiago, Bajcetic, Alisson, Jota, Trent, Szoboszlai, Ben Doak, and Joel Matip. All out right now. That sounds bad because all of these are first team players, barring a couple of them, right? But it's not as bad as we think. A lot of these players are going to be coming back here soon. Trent, I know, is fighting to be fit for the final. Szoboszlai is the same thing. Salah was taken off, or is probably going to be rested this game as a precaution. Nunez was taken off at halftime as a precaution. A lot of those players that I mentioned there, I'm hoping and praying it's not that serious, right? Jones is another one where we thought it was going to be a lot more serious than it was. Turns out Jones isn't going to be that bad. It'll probably just be a few weeks for Jones. Same thing with Diogo Jota. We thought it was going to be a long-term one where we're looking at 6 months, a year, kind of like Joel Matip, who's out for the rest of the season. Diogo's is just going to be a couple months. And he's saying, at least on his Instagram, that he wants to try to come back sooner. Maybe he should, right? I mentioned this in the last video that he might be a little bit too gritty for his own good, or too much of a warrior for his own good, and gets himself hurt a lot, right? So let's hope that all of these players get a speedy recovery. Szoboszlai comes back in for the weekend because I think he's going to be really important. Same thing with Trent. Salah, I feel like will be fit, and I feel like Nunez will be fit. I think all of those players that I mentioned most likely will be rested for this game. My starting 11 is going to be Callagher, Bradley, Ibu, VVD, Gomez for that back line and in goal, right? Bradley is the man that I think we need to watch out for. He's the man on form for me, and I'll get into that in a second, who's going to be our X factor, and I think will have a huge impact on this game. I'm going to explain why in just a second. Ibu and VVD, probably the best center back partnership in the league right now. And Gomez. I know a lot of people are saying, why not Robbo? I think Robbo will probably be rested this game, given the state of where the squad is, and a lot of injuries are reflaring up. It's not new injuries, right? With a lot of these players, it's reflaring of injuries. I think Klopp will be very careful and cautious, and I think he'll bring Gomez in, who's had a great injury record this season. Surprisingly, because he's struggled with injuries in the past. He has been a rock in the back, right? And he's been very good on that left side as well. So I think Gomez will come in, provide cover for Rambo tomorrow or today. In the midfield, we're going Maka, Endo, Gravenberch. That trio, I'm very high on. Gravenberch is a guy that I fight for and I continue to fight for, and I think he will eventually come good. I mean, when he was 19, 20 years old, which is like 2 years ago, a year ago, he was mentioned in the same breath as Jude. He was mentioned in the same breath as Musiala. A lot of these players who are at the top of the sport right now are climbing towards the top of the sport and are being very noted, right? We can't forget we have one of those players that could be considered a generational talent. I think he just needs a little bit more time. Keep in mind, as he's in this development stage, the most important stage is of football when you're 19 and 20 years old, he was pretty much put on ice for an entire year, right? This is his first time in essentially a year playing a full season with these heightened minutes, and his body may still be getting used to playing this brand of football, which we all know Jurgen Klopp's brand of football is not easy to just kind of pick up and do, right? And also just playing football in general, right? And I think that game against Brentford showed a lot for him. I think he played great against Brentford, and I think he will play great against Luton. So he's going to be in that midfield for me. Endo has been phenomenal. He had a coming out party, and he just keeps coming, right? And he's been very, very good for us, and I just cannot wait to see what him, Maka, and Gravenberch can do in that midfield. We all know what Maka's about. He is the football doctor, Jurgen Klopp calls him. I say that if you put all three of these players together, you would have the ultimate midfielder, right? And that midfielder would probably look a lot like Steven Gerrard. So I love this midfield. I think it's going to overrun Luton, and I think it's going to be the difference maker for us if they all perform at the level that we all know that they can perform at. Harvey, Gakpo, and Diaz are going to be my attacking three. I think Harvey's positioning is going to be a huge factor in this, and it's going to play into how well Connor Bradley plays. He is the man on form for me, the X factor. These two kind of together. I think Harvey is going to do a lot of tucking in on that right-hand side and almost play as a right-sided attacking midfielder more so than a winger. And I think Connor is going to be doing a lot of overlapping. He does this really well. He has a habit of pinning back that left back and the left winger into their own half and stifling their creativity because of how much he comes forward. Is he the most athletic guy? No. Does he look like a footballer? Maybe not for some people, right? But his attacking intelligence is something that caught me by surprise big time. Being able to be in the right positions at the right time and creating space at the highest level is a attribute that I think is unsung, but very important, and it'll be the difference between whether you become a good player, a great player, and a world-class player. And I think Connor has that. So keep an eye on that. I think he's going to bombard down that right-hand wing, and I think he's going to be probably in for another man-of-the-match performance. You heard it here first. I'm calling it. But that's going to be the key moment there, right? The man on form for Luton Town is going to be Ross Barkley. He has that build, and I've always said he has this build of almost like a Gareth Bale, very strong player and very technical, good shot, good passing range. Me personally, I hope he does make it into that Euro squad, along with Curtis Jones and Harvey Elliott, if he can sneak in, right? But we'll see. Gareth Southgate has his favorites, but if there's any player from a lower table side that deserves to get in, I think Ross Barkley is one of those names that you put on that list. My predicted scoreline is going to be 3-1. Luton is a tough team. They're very talented, but even the best teams have a hard time getting a result at Anfield, and I think our team will see it through. But let me know what you guys think. Did I miss out on anyone? Is somebody else bound to have a great performance? Is this a game that we need to be careful with? Am I being too confident? You let me know. Put it in the comments. What's your scoreline? What's your prediction? Who's the player that we need to watch out for? And again, don't forget, we're going to be doing our first watch along this Sunday, Chelsea versus Liverpool. I look forward to seeing you guys there. And don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe. Appreciate you guys. Peace.